Welcome to Field of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. I'm Darf coming to you live from the latest track in Mario Kart, your living room. And we've got a whole bunch of the track to race through this week, so let's hit the pedal to the metal and get to it. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit has released for the Nintendo Switch, and it's a game unlike any other. For the price of $99.99, you get a full Mario Kart, a physical RC car designed to look either like Mario or Luigi's kart from the game that you can control with your Nintendo Switch. You can set up courses in the real world, designing them all around physical spaces, set up different gates as checkpoints for the course, and then race your kart from the comfort of your Switch around the floor. It's a pretty wild idea and a bit zany, and while it clocks in at a pretty high price point for a video game, it promises oodles of good time. Now, if you want to get multiplayer, you're going to need multiple editions, as each cart requires its own Switch to control, and each cart sells individually. So if you're trying to get big races going with multiple people, you could be running up a pretty hefty bill. But it may all be worth it. Now, it remains to be seen whether Nintendo's going to add a new edition where you can throw shells in real life or drop banana peels behind you, but I think modders are going to be able to figure that one out. Spooky season is upon us, folks, and what better way to get into the spirit than with a new horror game from Frictional Games. It's a new entry in the Amnesia series, this time titled Amnesia Rebirth, and it drops on October 20th. Now, the game puts you in the role of Tassi, a character who's traveling to colonial Africa sometime in the 1930s and gets stranded among all sorts of unforeseen horrors and monsters. And she fights to survive and find her partner amid a dark scenario that threatens to close in at any moment and consume her and her unborn child. It's a terrifying premise, and apparently it'll shed an inward light on your deepest anxieties and fears, as only Frictional Games seems to be able to do. But I'm personally not a big horror fan, so when it drops on October 20th, you can find me huddled up under the blankets with the lights on, rocking back and forth and talking to myself so the monsters can't get me. We've got a bit of breaking news about Insomniac's new SpiderMan game, SpiderMan Miles Morales, specifically about a costume/feline companion you'll be able to unlock in the game. There's going to be a mission in the game at some point where you have to rescue a bodega cat, aptly named SpiderMan. That's right, you as Spider-Man have to rescue Spider-Man to become a spider duo. And after you rescue the cat, you're gonna be able to put him in your backpack and swing around the city as a terrible twosome, busting up crime, landing sick combos, and taking out unsuspecting thugs, all with the help of your feline companion as you keep the streets of Harlem safe, starting on November 12th when the game drops. In the annals of new ways to bleed money from players, NBA2K has added a new page. They're adding full advertisements into the game that are completely unskippable. This is already the franchise that had casino elements and bled their players for microtransaction after microtransaction, and have been talking about raising their game's price to $70 as opposed to the traditional $60, but they found a new way to make money. When you load into a game, there is an unskippable loading screen that plays you a full-on ad.
That's awful.
Oh, boogers.
And it doesn't matter what system you have, PC won't save you. Faster loading times from an SSD make no difference, as they will play that full advertisement regardless of your machine's ability to get you into the game itself. It's just one more page in ways to prick that extra bit of money from a player base that has no other option to go to, because 2K has a complete monopoly on basketball games as a genre. It's a very anti-consumer policy, and if we don't stand up to this, if someone doesn't stand up to this, it's just gonna keep heading in a direction that nobody wants. Well, that's it for us this week on Field of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and, well, that's a big dog.